First off, I want to apologize right now because this video is not going to be based on any trend going on in the market. Now, I also want to make it clear that I'm not going to be going over any AI automation agency details, any e-commerce stuff, or anything else that's been floating around on TikTok or YouTube lately. Instead, this is going to be something that's real and tangible, which should matter to you. Now, what I'm going to share with you today is not meant to be the savior of all of your financial problems like most people try to frame their videos up to be. What I'm going to explain to you in this video is, yes, a business model, but it's more so a way of living, a completely overlooked way of living that governs how you live as an entrepreneur day to day. A way of living where you don't have to work 10 to 16-hour days just to make ends meet, unless of course you want to. This is a lifestyle where you work 2 to 3 hours a day for yourself, not for anyone else. You're not going to wake up feeling burnt out, drained, lost, tired, and stressed all the time. Because when you run a business like this, it's basically like you doing something that you don't really want to do just to make some money, just trying to get some quick cash. But that isn't how you build a business. After watching this video, you're going to avoid spending years and years building operations with intricate systems and learning complex high-value skills, funnels, and all of this other crazy stuff that entrepreneurs are doing on the internet, only to find out years later that you actually hate what you're doing. And yes, this does happen. I literally see it all the time. It's all over the internet. It's all over every single social media platform you see. People have built businesses around things that they actually hate doing. Just because they wanted to make a quick buck, they knew that they would make some money doing XYZ thing, and then they ran that into the ground, and now they feel stuck and burnt out and tired and miserable. They wake up every day feeling empty inside. And while yes, you are running your own business, you are working for yourself, you realize over time that you've just created another job for yourself. You're still in another rat race, but this time it's one that's your own making. You're right back to where you started, working endless hours in your own business that has no purpose or a cause that you actually believe in. This is what I like to call a purpose-based online business. Now, the sole purpose of this is to not only help you build a successful online business, but also one where you don't have to constantly slave away at it every single day, working 10 to 16-hour days. And also for you to be in alignment with your life's mission or purpose at the onset of you starting the business, a business that is based upon who you are as an individual. Now, this is quite possibly the most powerful and effective business model that you could start within any given era, trend, or niche, especially since we're coming up so close to 2024 with the revolution of AI. So this video is aimed at being the one single guide that you need to not only build upon your existing skills, assets, and passions, but also to help you, more importantly, understand the market and how to position yourself in the most effective way to get the most success possible. So we're going to go over why a purpose-based online business is such a game changer in the industry, the core fundamentals of having a purpose-based online business, and a solid blueprint for you to pick up and take with you right after you click off of this video. Now, before we go through this, just remember this video is only for people who are actually serious about starting an online business that truly aligns with their purpose and intentions in life, and for the entrepreneurs who don't want to go through the devastating process of working tirelessly just to escape their 9-to-5 job, only to realize that they've created yet another job for themselves that they just want to escape from, called their business. With this channel, I'm going to cut through all the other content that you see on YouTube, and I'm going to give you valuable blueprints, resources, and most importantly, accurate information so you can immediately start taking action right after you click off of my videos. And one more thing I also want to make clear, yes, I do teach people how to build these types of businesses. I run mentorships, I sell online programs and courses and other digital products as well. The reason I want to make all of this clear to you right now at the beginning is because I don't want you to start consuming all of this information thinking that the only reason I'm doing this is because I want your money. So now that we have complete and total transparency here, my real intentions are honestly just to make you aware of the fact that living your dream life is not only possible, but there's a clear path forward for you to get there. So don't settle. So now that we're both on the same page here, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing is that we need to understand how a purpose-based online business model operates and why it's so special. The main function of having a purpose-based online business model is that it's built specifically on a foundation of what makes you special, what your personal interests are, and even what skill sets you already have at your disposal. Now, this is all while transitioning into a niche and a business model that's handpicked specifically by you and designed for you. So that means you're going to get the best benefits possible, and that's by design. Your business will become another extension of who you are as an individual. And this is going to help you succeed more than any other business out there because they're not doing the same thing as you. You also just gain a deeper connection with your target audience or your market because it's something that is inherently natural to you. Now, here are some of the benefits with this business model that no other model can give you. Now, the first is a strong sense of drive, meaning, and fulfillment. Now, this naturally comes from just enjoying doing the work that you do. It's really common for people that live their life this way to experience consistent cognitive boosts and benefits like extreme motivation, increased focus, memory, increased problem-solving skills, and the list goes on. It's almost like your brain just gets turned up to the highest voltage because when you do what you love, you naturally fall into a state of flow. The second thing is that you'll have a long-term vision for not only yourself, but also for your business, along with a firm foundation, because you're not just here to make a quick buck. You're not here to get to 100K months in 30 days or something unrealistic like that. You're here for the longevity that's created by building a business that you truly believe in and you take pride in owning. So this means that you're not going to allow yourself to be blinded by any of the shiny objects or obstacles that might get in your way along your journey. And that means that you're not going to allow anything to stop you from getting to the goal or completing the mission. And finally, pursuing a purpose-based online business will give you 10 times increased performance in everything that you're doing. This is what happens when you pair together seemingly unlimited amounts of energy and motivation along with a really strong work ethic and discipline. On top of all of that, if you're a balanced and mentally healthy person, you will get a lot of shit done. I can promise that you'll easily be able to get into a flow state while you're working and produce things at a much higher capacity and quality than all of your competitors, simply because you love what you're doing. What you'll have above the other people that are working 10 to 16-hour days is that realistically, no one is producing at a high quality or at a high rate when they work that many hours. They're tired, they're burnt out, they're struggling, and it's difficult for them to continue. They're never going to be able to compete with someone that's at peak performance. Now, the fact that you're still here and I haven't had to give you any crazy promises or try to sell you any like fancy gimmicks or whatever means that there's something special about you. Or maybe there's something special about any of the things that I've said so far, or maybe both, right? Either way, that's good because now we're about to get into the core fundamentals of all the things you need to understand in order to do this correctly. So just to summarize everything here, you get a business that you love that will make you more money than any other alternative. You get to work fewer hours than probably any other entrepreneur on the internet. And all of this is just from being yourself. All right, so I'm gonna lay out each one of these core fundamentals as a step-by-step blueprint that you can use and download at the end of this video. But first, I need to explain to you each one of them in detail so you understand why they're needed and why they're important. So the first fundamental and probably most important aspect of this process is inner reflection. This is how you find your life's purpose and really start to get in touch with yourself and understand why you are here. Why were you put on this earth? What were you meant to do? If you don't pay enough attention to this step because it's the most important, you'll end up somewhere in the future starting all over again because you'll realize that whatever it is that you've chosen just wasn't right for you. So the easiest and most simple way of figuring out what it is that you really want to do is focusing specifically on what you love doing. So essentially it has to start there. It has to start with what you love doing. And then eventually we transition into discovering your life's purpose after that. But truly follow what you love. The next fundamental here is connecting your life's purpose or your passions directly into whatever business venture that you want to pursue for at least the next few years, if not the rest of your life. The real point here is to make sure that you are linking your purpose or your passion specifically to a business and a business model that fits who you are. For instance, if you're an introvert, the last thing that you would probably want to do was be a public speaker or be someone that constantly has to interact with 20, 30, 40, 50, hundreds of people every single day, right? You would probably want to pick something that fits who you are as a human being and is also something that you love and are passionate about. We really want to get creative with the way that we build a niche around our life's work and our purpose. So essentially what that means is you might end up connecting two things that seemingly don't go together, but because you are such a unique individual, they might end up working out. For instance, I know someone that loves to make YouTube videos and be creative, but she also loves crocheting. And she ended up building $1 million empire just off of showing other people how to crochet on the internet, right? So it might be something that is very unconventional and doesn't seem like it would make a lot of money, but you very well might hit something really amazing just by getting creative with your vision. The next thing that we need to talk about is market research and positioning. Typically, all three of these things should be combined, but they need to be done in chronological order. First, you need to find your passion or do the self-reflection to figure out what it is that you love and enjoy. Next, you need to find your niche, and then you need to figure out how you're going to position yourself in the market and do some market research to figure those things out. Our goal here is really to create a product, service, or business that the market actually reciprocates, wants, and needs from you. Something that people will pay for. Well, after you've done all of that work, it's time to really hone in on your skill sets. So number 4 is going to be skill stacking. That means we need to take our existing skills and add upon those skill sets. And these are skills that you need in order to run an online business. This is probably going to be completely different than the things that you've done before, or maybe you already have experience running a business of your own. So you are inclined to know what, good marketing is and sales and copywriting and all of these other things, right? These are the facets that you need to run an effective online business. Now, I know this might get a little bit overwhelming when you start to realize how much you really need to learn and how many knowledge gaps there might be in what you know right now versus all the things that you need to learn, but that's okay. It totally happens over time naturally as you get further into your business. So don't worry about it. Just take it one day at a time. A lot of people are going to tell you to just hurry up and pick a niche or just start sending out cold DMs to people to try and get clients. I'm not here to tell you that, because the reality is if you do that and you don't find the right niche or you don't find what works for you, you're going to be right back at the beginning again, wasting more time. I think it's more important for you to figure out what the right niche is for yourself. Don't worry if you pick the wrong one, you're still doing the wrong thing, right? But I want you to skip all of that. I don't want you to have to go through the years and years that most people spend doing the wrong things, and just really focus on what's going to work for you. What are you passionate about? What feels right? You know what I mean? Don't try to do what everyone else is doing, because it's not going to fit you. Focus on yourself. Don't worry about what anyone else tells you should be doing. Try to pay attention to what feels right. After we've gone through all of these stages, this is where we really start to scale our business. This is where we become wildly successful. Now, this can get kind of addicting, because who doesn't love to watch the thing that they love and are passionate about grow and become wildly successful, right? But this is the fun stuff. This is where we start to tweak, analyze, look at all the details, the reports, and see how our business is performing, so we can increase all of the metrics and make it even more profitable. And then it's just numbers after that. It's just, okay, how much input can we put in to get more out? So the next thing that you would want to do along with scaling your business is to join a network, or you can find another mentor like me that can kind of show you how to position your business to make it more successful, how you can tweak your systems to make them more automated and help you scale and build processes around your business that are needed when you're at a higher level of success. Gather a support system, people that are on the same exact journey as you are, because it's going to help you a lot along the way. It's going to help you not make the same mistakes that everyone else is making when they don't know any better. And it's also going to help you kind of skyrocket, because when you've got a community of other people that are working on the same things as you, you tend to grow faster, quicker. You become more motivated to be successful because you're around other people that are fueling that success. So at this stage in your business, you're not just working in your business, you're working on your business, right? Strategizing, making calculated moves. You want to seize opportunities, try to find any path forward. And as you do this, you'll realize that it doesn't feel like work. You don't feel like you're working. You feel like you're just living day to day. You're living your dream life. And that's exactly where I want you to be. Now, in the future, I'm going to be making plenty more videos about all of the nitty-gritty details, each step of the process that's going to get you profitable and how to help you scale, all of those things. But first, I've already planted the seed. You have the information that you need to get started. And I think that's even more important right now. I know I've given you a ton of information and it's probably like information overload at this point, but unfortunately I can't hold your hand the entire way unless obviously you join one of my coaching programs. But otherwise, I can give you a roadmap that's going to help you get a clear look at everything that I've talked about today. And this is going to be a blueprint that you can download in PDF form, and it'll just help you get more clear on what the path looks like as an entrepreneur, as someone that's building a new business. Now, I want you to understand that this is going to take time, right? You're not going to be successful overnight. It does take time, but I promise you, if you take the right steps and the right actions consistently, your success is inevitable. All right, now this is going to be your deep dive into the blueprint, step by step. Let's go. So our first principle here was looking inward. Now, I'm not talking about some crazy like woo-woo stuff. I'm talking about let's get deep. Look inward. I want you to spend a day or even a week if you have to, just reflecting on your happiest moments, your memories, your passions, your talents. What do you love? What do you hate? I need you to deeply understand yourself as an individual because this is really important. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Reflect on lifestyle. How do you want to be living? What are the things that you're missing in your life right now that you really want? What are the things that you've always dreamed of, but you've never been able to get to? Put all of those down on a piece of paper and make sure that when you're choosing a niche, it's going to enable you to create that type of life for yourself. Now, if you're still struggling, I'm dropping a few tests out there that you can use to basically further get to know yourself, like the Myers-Briggs test for personalities, and there's a few others that you can use, and these are all going to be in the description. Next, make a list of all the potential niches and businesses that you've thought about and see which ones align with your purpose, right? Rate them. Make sure that you're comparing them to your market research and also whatever your current skill sets are to see if that matches with your skill sets and your personal interests. This is kind of where you take your life's mission statement and you look at the list of potential businesses and compare it to that statement. Which ones align and which ones don't. The key here is really just being in alignment. You don't want to be an environmental activist running a plastic factory, right? You want to make sure that it's in alignment with your values and who you are as a human being. Use mind mapping or brainstorming to come up with a list of potential niches that get you excited. Now that you've narrowed down your niche, you need to do the market research and position yourself. Do the research and figure out if there are enough people out there interested in what you would potentially be selling. What are those people currently dissatisfied with, and how can you as a business fill in that gap? This is also where you're going to start looking at your competitors. You're not doing this to necessarily compete with them, but you want to understand how you can be different than them rather than imitating them. Go on every single social platform and find your competitors. What are they doing? What are they selling? How are they selling it? What do you like? What do you dislike? What are they doing wrong? This is where the gaps are in the market and where you can openly position yourself in a way that makes you more attractive to your clients and customers. So the next step is going to be skill stacking. So this is where you analyze what are the top 5 skills that you need to master in order to get really good and really successful in your niche. These are things that you need in addition to your existing skill sets that are going to help you flourish online and have a successful business. So you can use platforms like YouTube, Udemy, or any other masterclass or Skillshare, somewhere where they share knowledge or online courses that help individuals like yourself skill up in those areas that you need to get more knowledge in. So use that to your advantage and start skilling up in those areas where you're lacking knowledge. Next, you're going to be in the building stage. So this means whether it's an online course, writing a book, a dropshipping site, whatever it is, an e-commerce store, start building the product that you want to serve to your customers. Now, after you've actually built your product or your website or whatever it is, it's time to actually get real life feedback from your clients and your customers. Once you get the feedback, You want to constantly tweak and make your product better. And lastly, after you've been selling for a while and things are going well, this is where you really start to scale your business. You want to tweak, look at the data, analyze, look at the reports, see how things are performing, and do everything you can to optimize and make them better. All right, there you go. That's a free blueprint that's worth its weight in gold, but it's worthless if you don't actually take the action that you need to and start building your business. Now the ball's in your court, so don't be that person that's just like watching videos and doesn't actually do anything or take any action. I want you to get out there and start doing whatever it is you love. All right, now I know that's a lot of information I just gave you again, but you should be spending most of your time and attention on the first 3 steps. And then after that, I can give you actionable steps and blueprints and guides to help move you forward once you've gotten to the point where you've chosen your niche. But for right now, you want to spend most of your time making sure that your niche is the right thing for you and that you're in the right place first. So you should typically be spending the next 2 to 3 weeks just focusing on your purpose and your niche and figuring out what those things are before you move on to any of the next steps. Now, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Jay. I started off in the tech industry and built my business up to 7 figures. I was pretty successful, but at the end of the day, it was like, no matter how much money I made, I just felt like there was something missing. I felt like I was lacking purpose in the work that I was doing. So eventually I decided that I wanted to branch off and start helping other people build their businesses, because this is what I've always done for my friends and family members and acquaintances, because it's a passion of mine. I would rather spend my time helping other people who were just like me, trying to find a more fulfilling lifestyle for themselves and share my knowledge. So that's exactly why I created a free PDF download just for you guys. It's a blueprint step-by-step that goes through everything I laid out in this video, and you can download it for free in the description. And one last thing, I just want you to remember to believe in yourself. Trust in the process and trust that you can do it. Just take it one step at a time. Now, the first step for you right now is just to click off of this video, reflect on who you are, and reflect on what you love doing. If you're already done with that, then click on the video you see on the screen right now, because I can almost guarantee it's going to help you along your journey.